Recording, so just be
Nice.
aware. Nice.
Welcome in, whoever's watching from afar.
From afar. Wait, here comes Young Company. It might be Bart, actually, or is it Robin?
Yeah, it looks like it's Bart that's joined us. We got Jim coming in.
Yep, here I am.
There he is. There he are.
Jim's been
Awesome.
emailing full, man. I'm getting all these emails from Jim. I'm like, look at Jim. Welcome to marketing, Jim.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. Like proud mommy. Hey,
I've got
Justin.
I've got I'll talk to you guys about it next week at the mastermind. But I'll explain what the project I'm working on and I would love to invite every one of you guys to help me participate in it and help market yourselves.
Good times. Oh, look. Am I on the boys' meeting? Is this a men's meeting?
This is men's meeting.
Just
Apparently, everyone is joined for the
wait.
men's meeting with Marissa.
Yeah. Wait.
There's another one. There we go.
Love it. Marissa's
Wait.
shepherding us well.
I'm gonna put Tony's the host, man. We had such a blast with this immersive view last week. We were just being very silly. Hi, Tim.
Okay, this is worth the whole day right here.
Did you like that? You guys like
Yes.
that? I know, Waylon.
Yeah.
I knew that you guys would enjoy that because why wouldn't we have a little fun today? Let's put us in a classroom. Let's see. Let's see. So far, I think we could do this and we'll all be together. Look at that.
That's
Fantastic.
pretty cool.
I feel like I'm on a jury.
My head's as big as Aaron.
I'm sorry. I promise not to prank everybody, but I just have so much fun with this. You have no idea how much joy this brings me.
I feel like I'm a Oompa Loompa in Charlie's Chocolate Factory.
Oh,
I think
now we're at the game.
yeah, we're at the game. All right, Tony, tell us how to win the game of abundance right now. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Baron. Welcome, everybody. We were just playing because I was being silly. I'm sorry. I know.
Hey, before we get going, do you know why I get like 3 to 5 hello breakthrough mastermind like AI things or note-taking things like all at once, the morning of the day before this call?
That is crazy because I don't get any of them.
Yeah, I don't get any either.
I didn't
What are
get
you
it.
what are you talking about, Tim? Like an email or what do you mean?
Yeah, it's an email that's like an AI note-taking thing. It's I probably deleted them, but next time I'll show you what they look like.
Like from people's AI note takers in
I-
advance of the call?
Yes. Yeah, or something
Yeah,
similar
because
to
they
that.
join, the note takers are set. People's note takers are set to join. So, like,
But why would they send out a thing to everybody else? Like, I don't get them. That's weird.
That happened to me once, a couple weeks.
once, yeah, just forward it to me when you find it, Tim.
When I
That'd be
find it, I'll
great.
send it next time. Thank you.
Okay,
Tim, that
all
one from
right.
me, if you'll just put your bank account info.
Birth date and social security number too.
You do look like a Nigerian prince there, Justin. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, welcome everybody. I'm just letting people in for you, Tony. So
Awesome.
it's all you. It's all
Well,
you.
great, guys. Well, hey, I am your Ask Me Anything today. Super excited to be here with you. It's been an amazing week. Just I'll give you a little bit of a kind of a just short 2-minute monologue for this week. It is Memorial Day week, which we celebrate those that have passed on and in memory of. And so this last Monday, I did a call for my community, really about that we're here to live, not to prepare to die, and so it was a great conversation about what risks are we taking, what businesses are we building, what books are we writing, how are we living life versus being timid. And the reason why I love this call, the reason why I love this community is because it's big action takers. people that are willing to go out and live, truly live. And we're just not guaranteed. We're not guaranteed a minute from now, a week from now, a month from now. And so what are the things that we could get done now? Those are the things that are calling to us. And so anyways, I just been kind of on this kick this week of are we truly living or are we existing? And what are the moments that you're really leaning into? I was super I'm always impressed by everyone's social media. I love kind of seeing each of you post and what you're posting. But in particular, there's just this last couple of days, it's been fun to watch Marissa being present with her daughter and the things that she's been doing there to just be present and to live in the moment. And so it was fun to watch that and to see like these moments that pass us by, and are we truly living into them? Are we being present? Or are we trying to do the thing to get us to the next thing? And so today, my invitation for all of us is to find a little bit more presence today, find a little bit more savor in the food we're eating, find a little bit more, brightness in the things that we're looking at through our eyes, just being present today. So anyways, that's kind of where my brain has been this week. It's been exactly 1 year ago, Monday on Memorial Day, that my 13-year-old drowned in his pool. And so it just makes me very aware of the relationships of my life. And am I present? Am I physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually present? Or am I just physically present, but mentally gone, mentally in my business? And so I just share that for a couple-minute monologue here, but I'm here to answer your questions. So who wants to lead us off? Who wants to lead us off in asking a question? Anybody wanting to kick things off today? Jim, you just raised your hand. Come on in. And then Tim, I see that you unmuted yourself, so you're next.
I did, and being in the cohort and going through grad shift again, and or just finishing it and into purpose. I mean, I have to put in a plug for the modules, and if you're not in the modules, you need to be. I have been involved in personal development and personal growth, and literally for 30 years. I started out with Jim Rohn, Jim Rohn's weekend seminar, and I got hooked. I drank the Kool-Aid, and but one of the things that, since I got you here, Tony, one of the things that keeps coming up as I go into gratitude, as I'm thankful for and grateful and appreciative, and which is interesting because I've learned there's a difference between gratitude and appreciation, and is we want to be grateful, we want to be appreciative of what we have, and I just want to but I'm thinking I don't want to get caught in the trap of wanting more. I want to be appreciative, I want to be grateful, and I want to be ambitious. And talk about that for a minute.
So one of my favorite quotes from Bob Proctor, who was my mentor, passed on a couple of years ago. I spent 10 plus years with him. One of my favorite things that he ever taught me was, he said, Tony, there's a spirit inside of you that is always for fuller expansion and greater expression. And so there's an essence to who you and I are, whether you call that spirit, whether you call that source, whether you call that our higher self, whatever it is that you call that, there's an essence to who you and I are that never wants to stop growing and never wants to stop expressing. Those are the two things that is in essence who we are. And so part of this is, you will desire more because it's part of being human. We want to create more. We want to love more. We want to see more. We want to experience more. And so we can get into this space where we can be grateful yet dissatisfied. I call it divinely discontent. I'm super grateful for what I have, but I'm discontent because I want to create more. Without discontent, we would be okay with iPhone 1. Without discontent, we would be okay with the airplanes of 20 years ago. And so it's this divine discontent that says, I'm grateful. I'm super appreciative for what I have. And I know that there's this essence to me that never wants to stop growing and never wants to stop expressing. And so what's the expression that's trying to come out today? What's the expression that'll come out tomorrow? And it never stops. And I might make someone mad on this call. And if I do, sorry, not sorry, but I don't believe in retirement ever. I don't believe that there's ever a day where we're going to say, hang it up and say, I don't desire any more for my life now. I'm just going to spend the rest of my life dying. Like, I don't believe in that, because I believe that there's an essence to who we are that never wants to stop ever until the day we die. And even then, I don't know if we'll stop. And so for me, it's just this continual, am I allowing the expression of whatever's inside to come out? And so Jim, I would just share with you what you're feeling. It's actually human, that I can be grateful, super grateful for my life. And by the way, my definition of grateful is that I'm always enough and there's always enough. If you were to ask Tony, like, hey, Tony, tell me how would you define being grateful? Being grateful means I'm always enough that I can receive without the need to give you anything in return. And I can give you anything, time, money, resources, and I don't need to receive anything from you because I know that there's enough. So when we live in this abundant universe where we know that I'm enough and there's enough, then that to me is grateful, and there's a constant expression that's always wanting to come out. I love what Barron's doing right now. Barron's going on this, multi-state tour because there's a newer expression coming out of Barron. There's a newer expression coming out of his probably workshops, the things that he's doing. There's a newer expression coming out. Is that fair enough to say, Barron, that there's a new expression that's coming, that's emerging in your life? Yeah. And because there's a newer expression that's emerging in Barron's life and in Aaron's life, I mean, this is now the Aaron 2.0. He spent the last 25, 30 years in the gig space, and now there's a newer expression that's coming out, and it's part of being human. There will come a point in your time, Jim, in your life, Jim, where you're going to want to write a book or maybe even produce a song, and you don't sing. Like, I don't know if you sing, but the point is
no.
There might be a point where you want to produce something and just allow it to come out. Don't suppress it. Discontent, I believe, is the secret elixir of creation. Without discontent, what would we create? That we'd be totally satisfied with everything as is.
Thank you. I'll tell you a story about retirement. I have a friend in Toronto named Raymond Aaron. Some of you may know him. He's a he's a prolific author and speaker. I was in Toronto at a seminar with him a number of years ago, and he told the story about a fella who came up to him and says, Raymond, you've got all the money in the world. You've got so much money. Why do you continue to work? And why don't you retire? And Raymond asked the guy if he knew what the definition of retire was. And the guy said, well, I guess not. And Raymond said, the definition of retire is to remove from useful service. And I'm not going there.
There you go. Good. Well, there's an essence to who you are that never wants to go there. So
yeah.
Thanks, Jim. Tim, you had unmuted yourself. What do you got, Tim?
I think we should just stop now. I'm good. That was that was great. Just stop right now. I'm highly discontented. It's good stuff. And as a principles-based financial planner, by the way, I tell my clients there's 2 cuss words you'll never hear me say: retirement planning. Because retirement means to quit active work. So you're not going to hear me talk about that. So discontent, Tony. So I've got this book that's ready to go. Marissa, I'm going to start out with the company you had me go to, the Ingram Spark. Looks really awesome and cool. So I'm going to use them, I think. And Tony, I'm using your partner. She's amazing. So we're doing, we're almost ready to print. So my question is, I can dream whatever I want, right? So I want to sell 10,000 books the first year, which is in the top 2%. Like people don't do that. Self-published apparently don't do that, but that I'm not them, right? So what's some advice you have with whether it's a new project, in this case it's just about ready to be printed? What are some ninja tips mindset wise? And I think you just kind of said them, but I'm going to put 10,000 copies in my brain, and that's all I'm going to think about, just to blast off on this thing. That is anything you can add besides embodying the 10,000 books. So
I love this. I love this. So first of all, you have to be able to image it. So our imagination is the preview to life's coming attractions. That's what Albert Einstein shared. And so we have to be able to image it first. We have to be able to see it in here before we can ever see it out here. And so one of the ways that you can do that, which is super powerful, is to create the image as if it's done. And so one of the things of your book, if you're 10,000 copies, that probably means it says New York Times bestseller on the cover or something like that. Okay. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to get Trisha, graphic designer, to take the cover of your book and put New York Times bestseller and put it on the top of your book, and have that be in front of you as a picture that you can put into the fort, but it's a physical picture now. Yeah. See, a lot of times we try and say, okay, well, let me image it. Let me see it. Well, why not just use the tools that we have? Why not just use the tools that we have to actually image it, to actually go out and image 10,000 copies sold, New York Times bestseller, just put that right on the book, right on the book cover, and then put that right on your computer every day, where you see it and you focus on it and you have it right there. And then the second is you have to be the identity of it. It's already who you are. You know, I often share a little analogy with this cup here. This cup, it can put 16.9 fluid ounces in it. If I wanted to put 100 fluid ounces in this cup, it would just overflow. The only thing that this cup can fill is 16.9 fluid ounces. So if we want to put 100 fluid ounces in this cup, I need to change the container that can hold 100 fluid ounces. That is, in essence, us. If we want to be the container that would hold a 10,000 copies sold, then we need to be the identity of that. And so one of the things that I learned early on when I was leaving my banking career and I was getting into this, there was a moment in time where people would ask me, so tell me what it is that you do. And I would say, I'm a banker, and I'm trying to get my, speaking career up and running. I'm a banker trying to do this. And so I was holding the identity of I'm a banker. And the moment I changed it, I was with Bob and he's like, why are you saying you're a banker? He's like, who do you want to be? And I was like, I want to be a speaker. He says, well, then start saying it. I'm a speaker that does banking on the side. And the moment I took that identity on, the moment I started to shift my identity of I'm a speaker doing banking on the side, my speaking started to just completely rise, because I started to take on the identity of, no, I'm a banker, or I'm a speaker, not a banker. And so for you, it's I'm an author, not just I'm an author. I'm a New York Times best-selling author. So there's this identity piece that I would have you hold as well. Baron, I saw that you were waving your hand there. What would you have to offer here?
I really like what you're speaking to, and as you're speaking to the imagery of New York Times bestselling author and having that up front. I would even get more specific and say, and in this book published in whatever 20 languages or 40 languages, and maybe 10,000 copies a year, or 20, like annually, like that. Get like really specific.
Yeah. The more specific you can get, the better.
The specificity, the better. Yeah, I'm a legacy author with Simon and Schuster, and what that means is my first two books have sold 10 to 20,000 copies a year, but over 20 years, consistently, and that made me a legacy author. But that's in hindsight, it's like I never looked at it like that at the time, that I want to create a legacy. This book is a legacy over, how a certain number of copies every year that build into a legacy over a decade or 2 decades, like that.
That's
Excellent.
awesome.
Thank you. That's awesome.
And you're talking to a legacy author, Tim. I mean, he's sold
Yeah.
millions of copies, well, hundreds of thousands of copies. I don't know if we're in the million. Are we in the millions yet, Baron, or just hundreds of thousands?
I think I'm in the hundreds of thousands, but I am in 32 languages, my books. Yeah.
Your stuff has
Amazing.
reached over 150 million people. Just happen to know that.
Wow.
That's a lot of impact.
Marissa
lot of
says
impact.
that's getting real right there.
Yeah, that's a lot of impact. Justin, thank you. Tim, did that answer your question? Yeah. Awesome. Baron, thanks for jumping in and sharing that. You have a lot of experience with that, obviously, as well. So thank you. Justin, do you want to come in and ask your question? I don't know if I'm totally getting it here, the one you put in the comment section here.
Yeah, no, I think as we've talked about, that greater expansion, that desire to create more, to grow, and to continue to create along that path. I guess, how do you recommend a good, progressive, momentous means of doing that while not just feeling overwhelmed with anxiety of I'm not going fast enough, or I'm not completing what I think I need to quicker?
Yeah. So one of my favorite mantras I got from Dr. Wayne Dyer, and I say it to myself all the time. If you're in my bedroom, and if you're in my bathroom, and I'm just saying this, and I'm saying it over and over out loud in my head when I'm in the shower, and that is, I'm open to everything. I'm attached to nothing. I'm open to everything. I'm attached to nothing. And so what happens is when we become attached to a time frame, that attachment, when the time frame doesn't happen in the realm that we think it should, then that is what actually causes suffering. It's the attachment to the time frame that causes the suffering, or that causes the anxiety, or causes the not enough. And so when we can just be open to everything, attached to nothing, and in particular not attached to time frames, it's incredible the amount of peace that we can feel just knowing that everything that's happening right now is happening for my good. Again, I often teach this, and you've heard me teach this, Justin, over and over and over again. You've all heard me teach it at some point in the mastermind, and that is the greatest decision we'll ever make in our lifetime is whether we believe we live in a hostile or a friendly universe. When I believe I live in a hostile universe, that is limiting. That hostile universe, it will continue to perpetuate an idea that you're not enough, or there's not enough. Where a friendly universe, and this is a decision, is everything is happening for me. Everything is happening for me. The timing is happening for me. The things that are going on for me right now are happening for me. And so one of the things that I love that Sara Blakely has shared. So Sara Blakely, she's the founder of Spanx, took $2,500 and changed it into $1 billion, over years. She started with 2,500 and grew that and grew it and grew it. And now Spanx is over $1 billion. And one of the things that she says, whenever I hit a dark patch in the road, whenever I hit some uncertainty, I will always ask myself, what's the hidden gift in this? What's the positive in this? And your brain is wired with your amygdala to look at danger. It's part of being human. And so part of our brain that looks at this amygdala part of our brain that's always looking for the danger and wants to see what's happening dangerously, we have to stop that and actually focus our brain on, okay, that's the worst thing. What's the best thing that can happen here? What's the best case scenario here? What's the best thing that can happen here? And that it just takes practice. And so when you get into these moments of it's not going fast enough, this is what I'm hearing from you, Justin. Like, okay, I have this divine discontent and I want to push and it's not happening as fast as I want it to happen. And so what we'll do is we'll self-shame that it must be something inside of me. or I'm not, I should be doing something different and I'm not doing it. Instead of everything is always in divine timing. I wonder what is being prepared for me that this slowdown is happening. What's the hidden gift in this slowdown? What's the hidden gift in this pause right now? What's the hidden gift in it? But if we don't do that, then our brains will go to all the anxiousness and all the anxiety. And that's actually what we're calling in. It's called confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is we want to see the world the way that we believe. And so if I get into this whirlwind of the worst case scenario, then my confirmation bias will say, okay, he wants to see worst case scenario. So let me just keep showing it to him. Instead of no, what's the best case scenario? What's the best thing that can happen here? Why is this pause happening? And just fighting the hidden gifts and things. So we can talk more offline on that, Justin, but those are some nuggets I would share is, I'm open to everything, attached to nothing. I live in a friendly universe. And what's the hidden gift? When we can go those three things on disattachment from outcomes, this is helping me, not hurting me. And how is it helping me? Those three things will help flip your brain to see that actually where you are is precisely where you need to be for the quantum leap to take place. So there you go. And by the way, my trusty, amazing friend, Marissa here is always putting the statistics into the chat box here. So thank you for doing that. Stanford people with a growth mindset are 47% more likely to reach higher achievement levels than those with a fixed mindset. By the way, that comes from the book Mindset by Carol Dweck. Has anybody read that book, Mindset by Carol Dweck? She's a professor at Stanford University. I would highly recommend you go snag that book. But there's fixed mindset, which says this: I am who I am and I can't change, so deal with it. And growth mindset is I can change, and how much do I want to change? Where do I want to go? And so which mindset do we have? And there's so much study in that book, Mindset. It'll blow your mind. But I love that 47% are more likely with a growth-friendly universe mindset to reach their higher achievement levels. So I love it.
Just a note, I don't know who this needs to be directed to, but for some reason or other, the settings in the Zoom are set so we cannot copy the chat.
Okay. Well, I will serve as your technical expert and figure that out.
Or just take your phone out and take a picture of it.
I did a screenshot. I did a screenshot. So
okay, there you go.
Usually there's the three dots and you can say save the chat and it's not there. So anyway, I think nope, it won't even. You can't even highlight it and copy.
Got it.
It's on my end, and I'm not a host today, Jim, and I see it. So maybe it just might be your Zoom settings. We can look after.
Good.
Yeah. Awesome. Who's got my next question? We got 3 minutes. One last question.
What would your suggestion be to people that are potentially resistant? Like, right brain, analytical kind of people feel very weird about saying, like, the word affirmation is off-putting. Like, how could you rebrand that? Like, is there a way to rebrand that? Because I find that, like, sometimes the very people that need this information will not digest it because they're off-put by, like, a phrase or something. Like, they see something and they go, that's not for me. I'm just curious.
Yeah, affirmation work really is in my opinion a little bit off. I don't tend to do affirmation work. I do question work. One of my favorite teachers of all time, his name was Jesus, and one of the things that he said is ask and ye shall receive. He didn't say affirm and ye shall receive. And I think so many times in life we think if I just affirm it, then I'll believe it. If I can just affirm it, then it will go in deeper. And it's like, yeah, but if you don't believe it, what you're affirming, and you've got cynicism towards that, your subconscious mind is going to kick up and bounce it out faster than it's going in. And so one of the things that I would share with you is if that's you, which it has been me, because my analytical brain is like, no, Tony, you're not worth X. So stop it. What I can do is I can reframe that to what did I do that created $10 million in my business? What did I act upon that helped me create this momentum in my book writing? What was it that I wrote about that caused 10 million copies to be sold worldwide? when you start asking yourself questions, your subconscious mind has no resistance to questions. So it'll start bouncing out some answers. When it has an affirmation that it's not in alignment with, it'll bounce it out. And so for me, I'm more about asking questions than I am about affirming statements, for me personally. Ask yourself more questions. Watch what'll happen. There you go.
Good.
All right, we got 1 minute left. So I'm going to give a little bit of plug here in our last minute. Guys, we're excited to see you all in San Diego. If you're not registered, get your butt registered for San Diego. It's going to be absolutely off the hook. We are super excited with all the people that are coming and the experiences that we have for you and the sunny, perfect weather, San Diego. It really is perfect weather down there. I was corrected on our last call with the team here. So it's perfect weather in San Diego. And so we're excited to have you come. And if you have people in your life where you're sitting there thinking, you know what, this person would love our community, please connect them with me. I'd love to have them come. I'd love to explore what that would look like. So if you've got somebody out there that you're thinking, a business owner, like, man, they would just love this. If you've got one name or two names inside your head, like, please connect them with me. We'd love to have them. I'd love to get on the phone with them. So, all right, my friends. Aaron,
Awesome.
anything else? I see you just unmuted yourself. Anything you got to share, my friend?
No, I was just prepared in case you queued the sales for the event over to me, because you do that sometimes. Register now, and whatever excuse you're going to give me for why you can't register and why you can't come. Bart, I see you in the corner down there thinking, why
I am.
you can't come.
Yeah.
And Tim, that excuse you want to give me, don't want to hear it. It's the reason you should come. So we'll see everybody in 2 weeks. Come hang out.
I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Great job, Tony, dude.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving Hawaii early to come. Sorry.
Oh, fair.
That's fair. Non-continental
I will see
geography
everybody there.
counts. What? Never mind.
I guess I'll come. I live here, so I suppose.
I guess Marissa will come. So.
I'm excited for everyone to
All
come
right,
out.
my friends. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Always
Very
love
good.